is your thing. Oh, there, it's coming on.
Great. Got me locked and loaded.
Locked and loaded. Hi, folks. How you doing? There's a little bit of a time delay on here so that you know.
A little bit of a
Yeah, little time delay. Gotcha. Oops, better put the volume down. Coming on. There you go. Hi, folks. How you doing? We got them coming up here. We've got them coming. We're trying something different today, just for the sake of it, because we're just funny that way. Oh, it'll come on. Oh, you just press it, I guess. There you go.
Oh, yes.
Look at that technology. We have a
go.
microphone and everything. You're going to have to read them down there because the lights are really bright up here.
Glenn says monsters in the house.
Yo.
And Johnny says, rock on, John.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? Thanks for having us again. We appreciate that. We're trying a new system. We're on Zoom. We're on live with Zoom, where and we have a microphone now, a different microphone we've never used for Friday Night Live. But right now, I'm just putting the banner on for people who might not know we're on right now. This is our new time, by the way, right? This is a new time we've got. This is what we're doing. I'm going to go into this.
Actually, it works out to be a good time because I feel a little more kind of settled in.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I do too. So look, it's already saying we can't monetize. Like, what is going on?
Hi, Mike. Hello, John and Shannon. And Melody says, hey, from Saskatchewan. Hi,
Hey,
Melody.
you're always so great for supporting us. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you. I'm just making some changes to our banner right now. Hold on. Details. I want it. Let me change the banner.
It's like a work in progress here.
Yeah, here we go. Thumbnail. We're doing it. We're thinking of getting Restream, which would make this whole process, I think, a little easier. Or Ecamm is the software we used before. We're going to be talking to Serge from the band Leonid and Friends coming up this week, probably Tuesday. We're going to have to talk to him about that. But he's right in Kyiv in Ukraine. And, we've been talking about this for a little while, but we're finally going to get him on and he can talk about his experience. And here's the thing. You can actually, the lights are too bright. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go.
We've got the lights in here at full mast right now.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. What are you going to do, right? So we go back.
Good evening from Ellis. Guy Williams tried using your Facebook Messenger. Didn't work very well. I saw it. I
saw your messages on there. And thanks for messaging me. I'd love to talk to you. I can't find you. I can't find records of you though. Why is that? Is there a reason why when I did you this like under the table for these musicians? Guy, because I'd like to hear your story and love to report on it. But from my end, legally, I have to be careful what I put on there. So if you can send me some information, that would be great on how we can substantiate your story. Because it's a great story, but legally I have to be careful, right? Because I went through the Raspberry stuff and your name's not on there. And you can understand from my point of view. So if you want to chat about it, that'd be great.
Paul Harris. Hi, John and Shannon. John, I hope you're feeling better from last Friday. Were you?
I was down in the dumps.
And you had a coughing, sneezing fit.
I had a sneezing fit. And
lost your voice.
I lose my voice. And when that happens, it's so violent, I can barely breathe sometimes. And Shannon will always say, do you need a blanket? No matter where I'm at in this house. This is a walkout bungalow. It's not a bad size, but no matter where I'm at, if I sneeze, it's so freaking loud, you can hear it.
James says, hello, folks. John Adams, hi. Hello, Gary. Carrie. Hey, Carrie, Friday night and my two favorite YouTubers.
Oh, you're sweet. Thank you. We appreciate
Spacey, good evening. Hi, Spacey.
People missed you last week. Where's Shannon? So whenever I come on live, Shannon's really just coming on usually. I mean, if you want her to come on more often, she certainly can. But like I mentioned before, the Kenny Loggins whole interview we did, we're going to put the whole interview up. And Shannon's basically going to introduce it because she was a huge Kenny Loggins fan growing up. And she had a chance to talk to Kenny when I was doing the interview before. The first time we tried, then we lost a connection, remember? Then, but he said it was nice. He said, oh, who's that pretty lady? That's so sweet.
Charles says, hi, John. Any upcoming concert tours that you're excited about?
Well, last night someone said, oh, I'm going to Paul McCartney, but it's cost me $3,900. I'm going, I can't even fathom having that kind of money to go to a concert. I can't even fathom doing that. I mean, I'd love to see Paul McCartney, but I don't have that money. And even Elton John. I mean, we don't have that money. Shannon says, take Chase. But then I realized I was going to pay, and people say, well, ask Davy Johnstone. I don't really know the guy. I interviewed him, but I don't really know him. But if he wants to give me tickets, I'll take them.
Johnny says, John, have you seen?
Oh, Leonid and Friends. That's where, well, we were talking about Serge coming on possibly on Tuesday. I've never seen them, but they've never come anywhere close to where I'm at. So there you go. Oh, look, we're about 5 seconds behind.
Whew. Paul Sir says, good evening. How are the gas prices in New Brunswick?
What are they now? You pay attention to them. I don't.
I think we're getting close to $2, if not just over. Or that might have been diesel. So
yeah, we look at liters. We're in the metric system, so we're at liters. I don't know why we are. Why don't we just go back to miles and gallons and kooky.
Gary says, thanks you two for bringing interviews, etc. to us all.
Thank you. Shannon's starting to coordinate some of the interviews and make them happen. We're working on Ann Wilson right now. We know we're on the list. I don't want to count chickens, but I hope she comes onto our channel. And there's a few other people we're working on that. Mickey Thomas, I've mentioned before. And we've got a lot of Canadian people for the Canadian channel, but they're always a lot easier because I'm better known because I used to syndicate a Canadian radio show, and most of the people who are managers, a lot of them know who I am. So that's a lot easier.
Paul says, sure, more Shannon, that'd be great. So, hey, I can always come on. Gennaro, greetings from Montreal, Quebec.
Hey.
Hi. And Guy says, in the early days in the 60s and 70s with the rock and roll, you won't find my name pretty much anywhere. In the only time my name is mentioned is if these bands were being interviewed.
Really, but why don't they give you writing credits? I don't understand that. I mean, listen, if you say you wrote them, sure, I believe you, but I don't understand. I mean, did you get paid for writing the songs? You must have got paid. I mean, I just want to know. I know there's ghostwriting that happens in music as well. I'm certainly aware of that, but as you know, legally, I'd love to interview you and we could talk about your history in music. We just have to be careful with stuff like that. We actually have insurance for things like that because our house insurance company basically told us, you need to have insurance. You can't just go on YouTube. And I'm going, remember I told you this story? I said, well, no, I know what to say and what not to say. I'm a broadcaster. I've been doing this 39 years. They go, no, we're not as worried about you. Sure, you know what to say. We're worried about the people who are going to bring on crazy lawsuits against you. That's what we protect you against. And I went, oh, okay.
Thank you, Gennaro. Press the like button, everyone.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. I keep forgetting to say that.
I know.
But thank you for those who've been our regulars on here and help giving us the plug on that.
Mm-hmm.
Fraser J, I'm so pleased to see the YouTube Dream Team back together again. You guys rock. Thanks, Fraser.
Well, someone was out telling me the other day, not asking, but telling me, it would be kind of refreshing. Some YouTubers do it. And it was my kind of way of just saying, let me show you part of my life. Like when we went through my house and our house, sorry. She's always saying my house. What? She's continually saying my house.
I'm rubbing off on him.
Yeah, so I'm blaming you. But anyway, our house in Calgary, one day I just went through the house and went, oh, you guys, someone said, hey, why don't you take us on a tour? I'm going, there's not much to see. It's a nice house, but it's not like we're not upper class or anything. We're just typical middle class people. And then Shannon was in the kitchen. I said, hi, Shannon, say hi. And some guy said, why doesn't she do the YouTube videos? Just as a joke, of course. And I went, well, Shannon says, I'd go on. I said, please, yes, can you? We're on my MacBook today. And you can, when we were on my phone, this is the phone that I've done all my live streams with. When I was on my phone, you could see the TV in the back with rock history music. But with my MacBook, which is 740 or 740p, somehow it doesn't pick it up. And I bought a, what do you call it? Cam thing, the G, what do you call it?
Another little device of something.
To hook onto this yesterday. and it didn't hook on. So our son will roll his eyes and then he'll help us put it on, right?
Yeah.
He works at Costco now. He loves it.
Paul says Toto and Journey tonight in Sacramento.
Did you see the review for San Francisco where they basically said Journey was great, but the opening act was better? They didn't name Toto so basically they were saying that Toto was a lot better than Journey in concert. I've only seen Journey with Steve Perry and only once with the Escape Tour, which is the tour to see. I was lucky. And I liked them. I thought they were great, but having seen Toto, I think Toto's a better band. I like Toto more. People know that. You guys all know that.
Moro says, hi, John and Shan. I watched your Zahn interview from 2017. Amazing story. Really enjoyed it. Love listening to their first album.
Their Astral Projector album is what you're talking about. And Back Down to Earth was the second one, and something I'm Worried About the Boys, or I forget what the third album was called. And I asked the guy, and if you don't know Zon, Z-O-N, look them up. They're one of my favorite Canadian bands, but I really loved them for that first album. And I asked their keyboard player what happened. He says, well, people started writing songs. They had an idea where the music was supposed to be. Every band goes through this. And they lost the magic of the first album. I didn't hate the next two albums. I've got them. But the first album is the one that everyone talks about, Astral Projector. It was very proggy, kind of glammy, rock, Canadian, really good. I'm going to put the whole interview up, by the way, on our Canadian channel.
Melody's wanting to know if you've interviewed Al Harlow. Sorry.
From Prism. No, I've reached out to him. I haven't heard back. Someone the other day was asking 3 days ago, they're going, did you wash the shirt? I says, the Genesis shirt. I says, yes, Shannon will never let me wear something twice in a row because she picks it up in the morning. And I always go, where's my shirt? She says, it's going to be washed. So here I am with my Genesis shirt again.
Spacey says last year, Dennis DeYoung said he toured this year, but he hardly has any dates. I wonder if music acts are having a difficult time booking venues post-COVID.
I think people are so hungry to get back to it, though. When you look at the Elton John dates and all the big people, they're all getting out there. I mean, whether it's smart or not to be in concert, to go to a concert. I mean, we certainly can't do it because Shannon has an autoimmune disease. Our daughter, just by the fact that she has seizures and has seizure medication, she's immune compromised. So for us, and Chase is working at Costco where they don't wear masks anymore, or they can if they want. He has to wear a mask, and he explains it to people. My mom has an autoimmune disease. I have to wear it. But having said that, going to a concert, I mean, if Elton John can sell out, Dee, that's too loud. Put it down. That's our autistic wonder, our 23-year-old daughter.
Guy says the Paul Simon songs I wrote in the 60s and 70s are through a contest that Paul Simon had. You could probably still find the entry form. I know you'll probably take this offline, but he was just commenting on it.
Yeah, I unfortunately, I kind of need more than that. I mean, you can understand that, right? Because I don't want to get sued.
Sonia Flowers, greetings, live on Friday night. Charles says, what do you think about the cruise ship rock festivals? Many classic rock artists are doing that these days.
Yeah, and I love the idea. How far back am I? Can I be? There's a thing on here, right? It's sort of how many? Oh, no, here it is. So we're about 10 seconds gone. Oh, we're okay. We're okay like that. My back's killing me. That's why.
What do you think about cruise ship rock festivals?
I was telling Shannon I want to go on a cruise ship. The first thing she said is, I can't go. We know, John, we can't go on a cruise ship right now. We have to wait till this thing completely disappears. And I don't know if it ever will. I'd love to go. I think it'd be so much fun. I'm on the keto diet right now, trying to slim down.
Lucky you. A lot more energy.
Yeah, a lot more energy. But I lost 7 pounds in the last week. So you know how it is. You lose a lot in the beginning. So
Ronnie's asking.
Oh, sorry. Cruise ships make you gain weight.
Ronnie says, hello, John. I wrote to Randy Meisner's fan club waiting for an autographed picture.
Is he sending them out? I just found mine downstairs. I remember I don't know if you remember, but he autographed. He asked me, I'm going to send you an album after the interview. Which is your favorite Eagles album? And I said, well, it's either One of These Nights or Hotel California, but I'm going to go with One of These Nights. And he says, to John QMFM, Randy Meisner. And he also sent me a picture, which was really nice. And I'm going to put that up on my wall in my office, which, by the way, I'm changing that all around.
Cool.
You know, as you come in, my desk is like this. I'm going to put it against as you walk in, the right side. There you go. I'm improving. I'm changing things.
That's a real utilization of space down there. Since I swear it's like a 6x6 room.
It's a tiny little room.
Pretty much.
Shannon says, take the guest bedroom downstairs. It's quite big.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I like the small space. I actually would rather have the small space. And
I think it's better for acoustics anyways.
it is. Yeah, it's better for acoustics. It is.
Ernesto says, hi guys. I'm wondering,
Ernesto.
I sometimes feel like our rock music is becoming legendary, like 50s rock and roll. What do you think?
Yeah. 50s rock and roll is a great example of that because it was so, coming out of the war in 45, people, even my mother-in-law would say things like, the music was so uplifting after the war. Because if you're in a war from 39 to 45, you're going, man, this has not been fun. And then after 45, a lot of the things people just wanted to escape. They wanted to feel good. They were still mourning people they've lost and the stories themselves, right? So that's the magic of the 50s. The 50s was so happy in that way. And it has a moment in time. Listen to 50s at 5 on Sirius XM. She has Sirius in her car. I don't. It would cost me like $1,000 to put it in my car. I went, no, thanks. It's really, really good. It makes me feel happy. So our music, or the music of the 70s and the 60s, has that special place for people. Why does old music outsell new music? I don't agree with the professor of rock. I think he's doing that as a sort of a thing. People say that and people love it. Yeah. I think there's a lot of good music right now, but there's something to that. I think old music was better. I don't think music today stinks. I think that's dishonorable to say that to a lot of musicians.
Gina says, greetings from Los Angeles. Looking forward to seeing Bonnie Raitt in concert.
Oh, yeah. I saw her in concert with Bruce Hornsby. And she stopped the concert when someone said, take off your top or something. And she stopped the concert and she basically said mean things to that guy. Bruce gave me tickets to the show. And it was brilliant. If I ever talk to her, I'll talk about that time she did that. And I'm sure she'll remember it, because she won't put up with that.
Gennaro says Foo Fighters has canceled their concert. This is in Montreal.
And their Grammy show, they've canceled their appearance at the Grammys. I was surprised, but then a second Dave Grohl said that, I understood. We all understood.
Chuck says Rolling Stones 1978 Cleveland, Ohio, $12. Today, it would cost more to see a cover band playing Stones music. So true.
Yes, well put. That's so true. It's tough. I should bring the microphone over here. Oops. There you go. How about I just bring it here? Is that better sound? That should be better sound. Because if we leave it over there, it still picks up sort of the echo thing. And I feel like I have an award. Thank you. I'd like to thank the Academy.
Brandon says, good morning from Ryde, Australia.
Oh, cool.
Wicked shirt, John. Yeah, he's always got.
I've seen it's like I have one shirt. That guy is air. Look, it's that guy in the Invisible Touch Genesis shirt again. Too bad he's so poor. It's actually so comfortable. It's so incredibly comfortable. I love this shirt, but I was going to change because I don't know if you guys can see the banner. Some of you guys who came on late probably saw the banner. I was wearing that shirt and then I started ruffling around it. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And I thought, I'm really starting to sweat a lot. So I better put on another shirt. And then, of course, Shanny and I were frolicking around. No, not that way. Hey.
What?
I do chase her around the house sometimes, but she's faster than me. When we walk outside, for instance, I always tell her, how many times do I have to tell you, honey, I've got to slow down because she has long legs. Must have come in handy when you were modeling there, young lady.
It's all about getting in the steps, let me tell you.
Holy, I can't keep up to her. But anyway, we were trying to fix, Shan. We were trying to fix this thing up and I went, oh my God, it's 9:03.
Paul Star Lights. Is it true Bernie Ledden poured a beer on Glenn Fry's head when he quit the Eagles?
He admitted it. If you look up Bernie Ledden, beer, Glenn Fry, you'll find him talking to me about it. If you look, he honestly talks about it. And there you go. Well, maybe I can do this. and then go like that.
Well, hello, Steve. Welcome from Cottonwood, Arizona.
Hey, her parents used to have a place in Mesa, not in Mesa. Where was it?
Ooh, Chandler. Arizona.
Chandler. Yeah. A lot of old folks would hang around there and just talk politics.
Enjoy themselves, getting a lot of sun. I will say
The
one
in-laws
thing.
loved it.
I will say one thing, when you're getting older and you're starting to get, your joints are getting a little bit off. I tell you, when it's warm weather, your body loves you for that.
Yeah,
Sure.
Mrs. who still gets ID'd. She's older than she looks, but
Brandon says it would have been interesting if Mike and the Mechanics had re-record the Small Creeps Day album. I love the song Overnight Job. Noel McAllis vocal
Overnight
and
Job.
Mike's guitar solo
Overnight.
are sublime.
Yeah, they are. And it was kind of cool when I talked to Simon Phillips and he says, oh, I don't remember that song. And I'm playing one of the tunes for him, Out Into the Daylight. I'm playing it for him on the video. And then I said, pretty impressed. Are you impressed? He says, yeah, it's pretty good. And it's basically him drumming. And some people have said the best song on the album is the instrumental. That's no disrespect to Noel McCalla. It's just that I think that there's just something about that song, but it has nothing to do with the fact that Noel's not on it. I think Noel's one of my favorite singers. I love him.
Hi, John. Are you ever going to interview Burton Cummings? That's from Vicky.
We've got a line into Burton right now. There's a gentleman, Bob. I know he's a broadcaster in Toronto. He gave me the information. And finally, 2 weeks ago, I reached out. I'll have to circle back, as we say in the business, and see if we can. Well, Mickey Thomas is the same way. Mickey wants, he'll do the interview, but he's just really busy. He's just got to be in the mode. And I said, we're texting back and forth. I said, Mickey, no worries whatsoever. I said, he's being really nice about it. I said, we'll do it when you're ready. Yeah.
Fraser J. John, check out Daniel Pierce. He was the backing singer, percussion player with Genesis Live recently and sings with a funk band called the PB Underground. Amazing drummer as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we will. Thanks for that information. Yeah, I'll do that. I won't remember the name, but I'll look up the band, so that'll be easier.
Tom says, what group or person would you like to see put out new music? Great show. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
What group or person would you like to see put out new music?
Well, we were doing a drum workshop once, and I forget the drummer. Oh, we went to see, remember Chase and I went to see so many drums, and there was a former Prince drummer there, and he played along with a Prince song that was never released, though he did say it's on YouTube. You can find it on YouTube. And she was a much bigger Prince fan than I was. And I heard it and I went, and he was still around then. I thought to myself, there's so much music that I'd love to hear just because he didn't think it was good. An artist can get too close to it sometimes. I have to admit, I'm kind of glad they're releasing Prince music, and I go through phases with him. So he's one of the guys, and there'll be never ending Prince albums coming out. He had like thousands of songs in the vaults. Wouldn't it be cool if some of that stuff became huge hits, like huge current hits in the top 100? That'd be great. And I'd like to see Elton John release more stuff. But, the prime example of that is Billy Joel. Billy Joel stopped doing it. He says he still has songs in his head. I mean, when I heard that, I went, my God, record them. Oh, that little crack. I'd like to see Billy Joel more than anybody record new music.
Paul says, hey, John, did you ever interview Alfie Zappacosta? He was one of the best voices I've heard. He used to have a restaurant on Avenue Road in Toronto. Dinner and him performing after.
Where did Alfie sleep, honey?
At our house.
We know Alfie quite well.
Do.
I've interviewed Alfie 5-6 times. Alfie would do backyard shows for us in Calgary with contest winners. I told this story many times. The only time I saw Paul Rogers, he was right beside us, like from here to this table over here. So Alfie's coming into town in Calgary. We're there. We live there. And he said, they canceled my hotel. I said, Alfie, you and Annie just come on over here and sleep over here. We'll have fun. We'll party. He says, really? I said, Jesus, that would be great. So Alfie comes to our house, and then I said, where are you up next? Where are you going next? He said, oh, we got some shows in Vancouver next weekend. I told him, I says, we're going to be in Vancouver next weekend. because I introduced him on stage in Calgary. And I said, I'll introduce you. He says, you want to introduce me in Vancouver? Because I was always also doing a show in Vancouver, a station I'm still working for now, which it was QMFM, which is now Move 103, same station, a slightly different music. And I said, sure, I'll introduce you on stage. So I introduced him in Vancouver, and we all know Paul was living there. I'm not sure if he still does, because Paul Rogers just bought this trailer and it didn't look like it was Vancouver, but it might be the Lower Mainland. There's like Chilliwack and Abbotsford and Maple Ridge. So I'm introducing him on stage. I sit down, and halfway through the show, this beautiful woman and this, not a tall man, but a really kind of beautiful man sit down. I'm looking around going, I told Shannon, I'm going, that guy looks like Paul Rogers. And she said, what, for Bad Company? I said, yeah. And I look, and then finally at the end, I say bye to Alfie, and that man's there. And later on, Alfie posts the picture. I'm going, Paul Rogers, I could have met him. So yeah, we know Alfie quite well. I haven't talked to him in probably 6 years though. It's been a long time.
Julian, hi, John and Shannon. Hike with Mike. Hi, everybody. Good to see y'all.
Hike with Mike.
Good to see you. Looking forward to this live stream. It's been a long day.
You know what? I've heard from so many people today. It's so strange that are having a Friday like I had last week, where you just get, you look and you go, oh my God, sometimes you work like 3 days on a video. The 5 musicians who, I don't do those as much anymore, because sometimes those things take 3 days to put together. Then you look, even though some of those have had 500,000 views, seriously, Shan, one of them has 500,000 views, and I could see right away it started going crazy. Then I did another one, and it got almost as much. The third one got half of that. Then all of a sudden it started losing steam really fast. But we put weeks into those. Now we've got it down to an art. But when you do those, I went on a live video for Genesis. And I got, I think, 10,000 views for just being on live talking, and I'm going, let's like 10 of those videos. And I like being on live. That's my favorite part of doing this. I like coming on and just talking to you guys. Hi.
Hey, Steve says, John, can you do a show regarding the boat of tour bands?
The what? About tour bands that have now since.
Music is hard to sell.
I'm not sure what you're asking me. Sorry.
Steve, sorry. Joe, I saw Journey with Van Halen and Montrose circa 1977, 78. Would not pay 5 cents to see Journey nowadays. Well,
I think Arnel Pineda is a great singer. I think he seems just like a really genuinely nice guy. He's not Steve Perry though. And would I go see them? Well, Neil Sean said, John, come see our concert. I'd go, but it's not that I don't want to pay for it. We don't have the money to go to a lot of shows. We don't have that kind of revenue where we can just go to whatever shows we want. It's just, and we live in Moncton in southeast New Brunswick. My hometown's northeast, so I get mixed up. So we don't, with YouTube, one month you're doing incredibly well. You got lots of extra spending money. The next month you got to watch.
Way of thinking. Hi, John and Shan. I'm late to the chat. Just got home, but I was listening in the car. You mentioned earlier, what is your favorite Eagles album? Mine is their first.
Oh yeah, the self-titled album.
Yeah.
With Henry Diltz doing all the pictures in the desert. We talked to Henry, was a guest of ours. I should have Henry back on. Henry Diltz is one of his best friends. He told us in the interview is Jerry Beckley of America, the guy who sang a little bit more of I think he sang most of the hits. Dewey Bennell did too. Dewey did Horse with No Name. Dan Peake sang some, of course, all 3 of them sang. But I think Jerry probably edges out the other 2. And Jerry was always my favorite of the 3.
214 JTS says, hi guys, probably already been discussed, but do you think the Foo Fighters continue on after the loss of Taylor?
I hope so. I hope they take some time off, and everyone's been asking who's going to be the replacement. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many people who could do it. Someone said Chad Smith the other day, said, oh yeah, but he's a busy guy.
Fraser J says, hey John, I've emailed you the Daniel Pierce video of the PB Underground.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Oh yeah, of course we've checked. Fraser J sent me some really nice posters of Shani and I, and that took a long time. So thank you. That's very kind of you.
JJD video. Hello, have you ever seen the documentary Radio Revolution, The Rise and Fall of the Big Eight? It's a pretty cool movie about CKLW in Windsor. A lot of interesting history.
Do you remember when we were at Mike Shannon's party and he put on that video? Remember we went to Mike Shannon's party? He was the program director. And then I became the program director and Mike's now PI. We all went upstairs and watched a video. Maybe you girls were downstairs.
I don't recall.
But we all went upstairs and it was strange, but I really loved it. I thought to myself, Mike, what are you doing, man? It's a party. We can't watch a video. But it was really cool. And that was the video.
Oh.
Yeah.
God, small world.
I know.
Whew. The Dreamer says, The Dreamer's Life. Hi, everyone. Hike with Mike. When the original members are out of the band, they are not the same journey without Steve Perry and Def Leppard without Steve Clark. It's just not the same.
Well, I think losing Def Leppard different, losing the lead singer for Journey. When you lose the lead singer, oh my God, to me, that's the hardest part of any band. It's one of the reasons I still love Toto so much. They have Joseph Williams, who happened to be my favorite singer in the band. And I've told Joseph that. He's one of my all-time favorite singers. He went, oh, come on, like this. But he is. I love Joseph Williams. I love the man.
Thanks, Gennaro. Yes, please press the like button.
Thank you.
So appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Joel says, saw Paul Carrick live recently. Really great musician. Didn't realize he wrote Love Will Keep Us Alive.
Yeah, and he's had 4 Eagles songs, as far as I remember, 3 or 4. Am I getting him mixed up with someone else? I forget. But he's so prolific and had so many hits and was such a nice man to interview. I just loved interviewing him so much. We just when we don't put up the whole interview, now when we're putting them up, Shannon will probably introduce them, and then I'll introduce the short clips. We'll put up some of the biggest short clips, and then we'll say, hey, if you want to see the whole thing, go to Rock History Book or Rock History Canada if they're Canadian. I'm waving my hands a lot.
Pulsar Lights, better producer, Glyn Johns or Ted
Templeman?
Templeman.
Yeah. I think it depends upon the band, right? I love Ted Templeman's stuff on the Doobie Brothers, I'll tell you. People don't usually mention the Doobies first when they talk about Ted Templeman. Glyn Johns with the Eagles and a lot of other people. But I tend to look at the stuff that I bought, right? So it's, to me, producers are apples and oranges. Because the Genesis had a few producers. David Henschel was on here, and we talked to him in depth about so many things, including working with Mike Oldfield, where Mike erased. They worked one night, like arduously about this one song or a few songs, whatever it was, and they finally got it done. And he was kind of mad at Mike Oldfield. This is David Henschel, and the next day he came back, and Mike Oldfield had erased everything, or that song or that session, and he says, "I was so angry."
Orbit Sen, speaking of Dan Peake, still waiting for that interview.
Yeah, it's hard to fix. I don't know if, I get into this zone, and I'm being as transparent as I can of putting a video out every single day on this channel, working on the Canadian channel, being overwhelmed with the entertainment channel. I'm not even sure why I started that, but it's almost monetized now, so I can't stop. For me to work on Dan, I don't know. John Zeka worked not on the Dan one, he worked on the Andrew Gold one. And he fixed it to the point where the phone hum was gone, which is what's wrong with Dan Peake and Ravi Shankar and Dave Brubeck. Those 4 interviews, they have phone hum on them. And all those guys are dead. Isn't that weird, eh? Mind you, I have a lot of other interviews, phone hum, but they're all new agey or jazz musicians, which Dave Brubeck is, of course. But I'd still put Dave Brubeck on this channel because he was such a big artist. I mean, he was the first guy to have, for a long time, he had the biggest selling jazz album of all time, right? So John Zeka did it to the point where the phone hum was gone, but it was hard understanding what Andrew Gold was saying. So I don't know what to do. If you look into the Wayback Machine, the transcriptions are on there are on Smooth Jazz Now. All the transcriptions of those interviews are on there.
Julian says, I've been listening to some Journey clips on tour. It seems to me that Arnell is forcing his voice to the maximum. You can feel the fatigue in his voice.
He is, and through an insider in the band who's not with them anymore, and that's all I'll say, had told me personally that Arnell is really pushing his voice a lot. It's hard on his voice, and he's worried about it a little bit. This is from a few tours ago. So, and I have not seen the clips, and I have I'm so fond of Arnell. I think I've never met him. I think he's such a talented guy. It's big shoes to fill.
Bronco Devil said, love the Randy Eddie story.
Oh yeah. That come out tonight? Was that the one that came out today? Because I put that up 3 days ago. Yeah. Yeah. He teared up. He teared up about, if anyone hasn't seen it, it's the last video we put up. And he talks about being close to Valerie and Wolfgang and Eddie. And he actually teared up near the end. It was one of the last things we talked about. Yeah.
Hike with Mike, ever interviewed Squeeze? Just an underappreciated band, in my opinion.
No, but did you get that from the Paul Carrick thing? Because that's a nice segue, because Paul Carrick was with Squeeze, of course. No, I've never really wanted to. I never got Squeeze. And don't get me wrong, tomorrow if they call me, hey, do you want to talk to Glenn? I said, sure. But those two guys, when they wrote together, they were amazing. But they compared them to the Beatles. And then they went kind of popish. But yeah, I didn't love them. I liked them. So it's not a band that I would go after. It's not about who I like, but they're sort of not in our lane that much, right?
Spacey says,
oh, sorry, one more thing.
Sorry.
Paul Carrick joined after that initial thing. He was a few albums after that.
Spacey says, you guys are New Brunswick. That's off the beaten path. What city are you guys in? Let me answer this one. Okay, we are in one of the biggest cities in New Brunswick.
The biggest city
called Moncton. And there's actually 3 kind of bigger cities here. Population of, we just hit 800,000 in this province. And we trekked far east because of course, John grew up in New Brunswick, and to be closer to his mom and his brother and
he's turning 87
and family here. And your mom's turning 87.
And she still has all her faculties.
Yes.
When I talk, Chen, well, you weren't there then, but when I talk to my mom on the phone or when she's here, it's still my mom. It's like, that's my mom. That's the same mom I always had. She's not my crazy version of my mom or my Alzheimer's version. It's the same woman.
So I was incredibly spoiled because we always lived out west. We were in BC, then of course went to Alberta, and I've always been close to my family, and we've been together a very long time.
97.
Yeah, 25 years this year. And
I noticed one thing. A lot of people think just because I look like a boot and you look the way you do. No, people always say, "Oh, you just like somehow we only been together for like 2 years." One guy says, "What? You've been together?" Yeah, we've been together. Like what? Like if she has a lot of time, she would have changed her mind.
So we've come here to be closer to John's family. Thank goodness for FaceTime, because I still connect with my parents
3-4 times a day. She's very close to her. Her mom's like her sister.
Yeah, we get along really well.
It took me about a year and then Shan looked at me. She says, "You can't fight this. I can't help it. I'm just close." She's not as close to her dad, but she's really close to her mom. And they're just like sisters. They have such a wonderful relationship.
And my sister, really nice. I only have one sister, and she is in West Vancouver. So of course I have an opportunity to chat with her as well. But so we're here. We're out far east. And of course, when now that COVID's sort of settling down a little bit, we're hoping that it's settling down, we can go further east, check out Nova Scotia. I'd love to go back again to PEI. I would really like to step into Newfoundland. I'd like to see what just the vibe, what it offers there. And it's not Newfoundland. If you hear someone from Newfoundland saying Newfoundland, it's because it's Newfoundland. They say I'm from Newfoundland.
And they're the most beautiful people. They're hardworking. They know how to party. They have a
And
reputation.
I have to say it again here. And I know there's friendly people wherever you go, but wow, are we ever finding people just so friendly?
It's crazy.
Here, so helpful, just so welcoming. It's, you know, to making a huge transition because we came like,
You know, the big
far
difference,
across the
between
country.
here and Calgary is Shan would have men oogling her in a store in Calgary, but now the men aren't oogling her. They just come up and talk to her. Remember that guy in Winners? He just came up, hey, how's it going? He starts telling her, and like, if I lose, like I'm at a grocery store and lose Shannon, she's someplace, there'll be some guy comes up to her and starts talking to her.
I don't know. I got my mask
She's
on.
friendly.
I guess I'm just
It's
friendly,
so funny.
right? Maybe I'm just like an easy target. I have no idea.
The last guy,
I have no idea.
she's in the store and the last guy comes up to her and he's talking to her. And then Chase comes up.
He's very sweet.
He was really nice. And I was in the car waiting with Danica. And Chase comes up to Shannon and says, Mom, who's this?
So just someone that I just met. Anywho, yes, people have been so welcoming here. And we're looking forward to having our first summer here since we moved out here at
August.
at the end of August.
Was it the end?
It has gone
Man.
fast. So on that note, that's how we wound up in small little New Brunswick.
Yeah.
A little and I even find myself when I look on the map again for Canada, I go, I don't know how I didn't realize it was that small.
Oh, I got to say this. I don't know if it was last night or the night before. Someone said I was going to leave you a donation on a super chat, but since Shannon's not here, I'll wait till she comes back. I'm going, well,
Poor John.
Support the channel if you can. I know times are tough.
I'm happy to be your sidekick, but I tell you right now, I can never trump the info that you have. The information he has in his brain, let me tell you about music, events, dates. It's like he's got a whole filing system.
Thank you, but again, remember if you've been doing anything for 39 years, you got to have some skills at it. Anyone who's watching, who's been doing whatever they're doing for at least 10 years, they're doing it because they love it, or why do you remember things? We learned that from our daughter. Why will she have super focus on certain things? Because it was important to her. So it's important to me, and you're good at your job. It's important.
We all have our special interests, special things that we like to work on. I'm all about closing files. If I start something, I like to close a file. That's kind of which works with you.
Which drives me crazy sometimes, but most part it works with me because I'm really bad at that. Yeah, she'll wake up every morning. She says, "You have an interview today?" I went, "Oh, thank God, I've got this person."
So there you go, Spacey. I think we answered that. We kind of went off the beaten path a little bit, but I think that we covered that one pretty good for you. Gennaro, have you reached out to Lucy Thomas? Remember we saw her video.
I wasn't really planning on reaching out to her because she's not really in this lane. She's not really in the lane of what we do. Maybe of our other channel, My Chill, which we haven't done much with lately. There's just not enough hours. And plus it's different now with my son working at Costco. So I've really got to work like 3-4 times more with him not doing our videos because he needs his time off, right? He still edits 2-3 videos a week for me, but he doesn't do the final videos. So it's a lot of work.
Fraser J says, guys, is there any chance of doing live sessions or interviews to boost your well-deserved channel? You guys deserve to get on.
Well, we're going to start having Henry Gross has agreed. He's got a new album coming out, like 20 new songs. He's going to come on live with us, and basically you'll ask him questions. Serge from Leonid, he says Leonid and Friends is coming on. We're going to try to get him on Tuesday or Wednesday. Some artists don't like to go on live. It's not their thing, and it's hard chasing those people. But we should have Paul, not Paul Coffey, Chicago. What's the Chicago guy's name? Tell me, please. I'm having a memory blank. But anyway, but the big guys, it's hard to get the real big guys on live. They don't like doing that. Hi, Danica.
DJH Record Hound. Hi, John, Shannon, and chat. Just got home from my 48th birthday supper, and today's also 11 years since giving up alcohol. Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
To you
Happy
and
birthday.
a happy 48th birthday.
Wow.
Paul Sir asks, wasn't ELO labeled the Beatles of the 70s?
By some people because of the harmonies and the type of music and the fact that Jeff Lynne was such a big ELO fan, right? He really was. And of course, then he got to work with a few of them, most notably George Harrison and Traveling Wilburys and working with George's solo stuff. And let's remember when the Beatles got back together and did that stuff without John, Jeff Lynne was involved in that, right? Because it kind of sounded like ELO Beatles.
Wizard One Music. Have you ever interviewed any Wishbone
Ash
band members?
No, it never. I remember when we did Shannon and I used to host a radio show on a radio station named after one of our sites, which is Rock History Book. No, it was called Rock History Music. I keep saying Rock History Book. I don't know why. Anyway, I remember in our first hour, we played a few of their songs and one guy said, "Oh my God, no one ever plays them anymore." I went, "Well, I don't know." We did.
Joel says, would you ever consider interviewing Brian Setzer? Love his work.
Oh, Brian Setzer. Yeah.
With the Stray Cats.
Yeah. Stray Cats. Someone was just asking about them last night. I would, but again, never, it's not in our lane. It is, and it's not. We're starting to get more interested in 80s acts, which of course he is. Yeah, we should, yeah, the more as I'm thinking out loud, good idea. Hi, Danica.
Gerald Lee says, John, you look much younger than 62. I love your channel and Shan's amazing. Thank you.
Well, Shannon's a lot younger than 62, but
you look much younger than 62, he said.
I know. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Hike with Mike, you should give some folks your trust a wrench to delete trolls. I think I have. Delete that there.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, can you hold the microphone?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God. Where was that?
Up further. Keep going. Yeah, up this way. Sorry.
Oh my God. I can't believe someone said that.
Okay, I just noticed it right now.
Oh my God.
Yep.
That's awful.
Still there?
No, it'll come up in a second. Hold on. That's awful. Why would anybody say that?
Just noticed it. Thank you.
Sorry, a little bit of thank you for all you have to do is go at the end and a pop-up will come up. And when you delete them from the channel, like I said, it just takes a couple of minutes.
Darren says, I just came on. I heard Shannon just say that she likes to close files. It sounds like the psychology of not allowing clutter to accumulate. You said it, Darren.
Oh my God.
That's exactly what it is.
You just nailed her. You get Shannon. Yeah.
You just nailed it.
If I panned around, this house is so incredibly clean. Like it's clean. There's no dust anywhere ever. She's very, very clean. And I love that because my mom was very clean. They say you marry your mom.
But that is so, you nailed me to a T. That was well said.
That's your favorite one tonight?
Yeah.
Shannon's mother did tell me in the beginning, she says, Shannon's incredibly clean. You know, she said, not in an OCD way, but she likes everything in order. I went, well, that's fine. I grew up with that.
Fraser J says, I love that John is on your TV in the background. Haha. You
can see that. We can't really make it out too well. It's because the MacBook has a lower resolution than my, usually everything that we do live comes out of this phone, and it has a 1080p phone on it, right? Now we're dealing with lower quality, but I went out and bought a cam video thingamajiggy add-on yesterday, but I can't figure it out. Chase is going to have to help.
It looks good. It looks good. Let's just hope that we can get it to work. Surfer Boy says, I'm late. Hello from Boston.
Hey, Surfer Boy.
He says, I need a Shannon. Yes, I can close files.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
But, sometimes when I wake up, like this morning, I slept till 10 and it's rare for me to sleep till 10.
First of all, I have to defend myself because I'm already up and at it. And it's like, I've had my cup of coffee.
She's revving.
I've already got things, I've got things moving. I've got the day kind of planned and he's just getting up. So maybe I'm a little overwhelming because I just come at him full throttle with what I've got planned for the day. And he just needs to first step out of bed and get up. So that's seems to be
well. Plus, I took a quarter. I don't take a lot of sleeping pills to sleep. I take a quarter of a sleeping pill and I'll have a nightcap. I'll have a little scotch, and that's all, because she watches me very carefully. She's a good wife. And I'm going, well, I'll be fine. But for whatever reason, I was very, very tired yesterday.
Wait. Did you say like I'm a file closer plus a babysitter?
Yeah, you're a good babysitter. Trust me, if anybody needs a babysitter, it's me. But she's a really good wife. She's a really good wife.
Gina says, are you familiar with the immediate family?
Yeah.
And then she lists off
Danny Korchmar, yeah. Waddy, Leland, Russ Kunkel's a great drummer. And you know, the JT album by James Taylor, there's that song where Russ plays the Syndromes or some variation of that. Honey, Don't Leave LA. Just take a listen to it. Listen to James Taylor, Honey, Don't Leave LA. That's Russ Kunkel on drums. Oh my God. It's so great. Love it. And he's drummed with everybody.
A Surfer Boy says, John sounds like me. I definitely a Shannon prototype.
Yeah, if we could duplicate Shannon's. We're almost there. We have to.
Wait a second. Gennaro, happy wife, happy life. You must have said that before, because that's what he says all the time.
You know, because we have a thing and it started with the car. One of the first things I told Shannon when I met her in 97 is one thing. I says, I think we're going to be okay. I don't know why I'm saying this. You know, I told her I loved her way before I've ever told anyone else I loved them. And when I met her, I've told you guys this. I saw her in her store and I went, oh my God, I'm not religious at all. I said, God, I'll never ask for anything again, but please let it be her. Oh my God, she's so my type. And then when my ex-wife met her, she says, oh my God, she's so your type. Because me and my ex-wife, we get along really well. But she did say, good luck hanging on to that. I'm going, what am I, chopped liver? What the hell? She says, you're my ex-husband after all.
JDH Record Hound, you said you had recordings that need hum removed.
Yeah.
I'd like to take a crack at it.
Sure. Can you text me? Text me at johnbowden@icloud.com, or else just look me up on Facebook. If we're not Facebook friends, we can become Facebook friends.
Jeffrey, hello from Montreal. John, what kind of mic are you using there? Something you'd recommend?
This is the Yeti Blue. It's just a USB microphone. I've been using this thing for a long time. I love it. It's a USB microphone. It plugs right into the MacBook. And what I didn't realize till a few days ago is, well, when we were doing our live broadcast on this, I didn't have a mic that works on my phone. So there's a lot of echo in this room, and there's a lot, this has a very high ceiling in this house. And what's it called, that kind of ceiling?
It's like a tray ceiling.
Tray ceiling. So there's one level, then another level, then another level, and this giant windmill. What do you call that? What do you call it?
A ceiling fan?
A ceiling fan. I don't know. She was in new home sales. Everyone knows what a ceiling fan is. I feel kind of dorky.
That's a good one.
So I decided, someone told me the other day, the person who looks after Sarah from Leonid and Friends said, oh, no, John, you can go on live on Zoom with Facebook. And I went, can you? So I tried it and it worked, but I still realized I didn't plug in my microphone. So this thing works on everything. I do all my interviews with this microphone. When you can't see it, it's out of sight. But every single interview I do, I've got the headphones on, and actually the earplugs are right there. You see these at every interview. It's still plugged in on the bottom. So it's a really good mic. It's not very expensive. It's $150. You can usually buy it used. I wouldn't recommend that. Don't ever be careful buying speakers used, unless they're classic older speakers. And you know, anything like that could, if it gets hit, I have another one that broke downstairs.
Hello, Maria. Welcome.
Hi, Maria.
Dwayne. I hope you're both doing well. Before we wrap it up here, Fraser J, do you think Phil Collins should have done the Genesis gig? I
think people are happy he did it. You know, you're going to get a lot of people who say he looked really bad, because he looked really bad. He looked sick. He looked like he was dying. And I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, because anyone who's watching this channel, who's been watching for a while, knows that I love Phil Collins. I really do. But he looked like he was dying. Sounded okay.
Paul says, any news on the band Sega?
Nope. That's all I'll say. Sorry. So anyway, there you go, guys. Our daughter
has been amazing tonight.
But what does she get at 10 o'clock?
She gets to play Scrabble on my phone.
Together.
that's what we're doing at that time. But it's been fun.
It's been a lot
glad
of
I was
fun.
able to hang with
So
you this
Shannon,
week.
I got to show you. See, what you do is you just go up here and you close it there. You close the meeting here. I can't see, these lights are too bright. Okay, I'll do it in a second. Anyway, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate your time. As always, look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah.
Thanks.
See you guys.
Bye.